Hey guys, it's Kevin again. This is going to be another movie review, and this movie I'm going to be reviewing. I had no interest in seeing this movie. I'm going to be honest. I had no interest in seeing this movie because it's a comedy in January, and the movie I'm going to be reviewing is The Wedding Ringer. Now, I had no interest in this movie. It's comedy in January. They're not usually good. It looks stupid to me. It didn't look like a movie that was going to be good at all. It looked like it was going to be a generic movie with just not very funny jokes or anything. And, I thought I checked out the movie. It leaked on a Solar movie. I figured I would watch it. And how was The Wedding Ringer? Surprisingly, I really enjoyed it. I'm going to be honest, I really enjoyed this movie. I was surprised by how much I enjoyed it. But honestly, it kind of reminded me of Ride Along. Ride Along was a movie that I didn't think was going to be good last year either. And I didn't review it. I watched it. I had a Hershey Park trip last year in my choir, and we watched Ride Along on the bus. So I really enjoyed Ride Along. But this movie I didn't think was going to be good, and it actually is very good, and actually is kind of funny. And there are some things I really liked about it. Now, let me say this, it's not a perfect movie, it's a very generic movie, but it's a movie that honestly, for January, it's not that bad. It really isn't that bad. So let's get to the plot of The Wedding Ringer. Basically, the plot of The Wedding Ringer is pretty simple. We have this guy, Doug Harris, and he is this man who kind of is socially awkward. He doesn't really have a lot of friends. He's kind of living a lie, honestly. His life is pretty much a lie. He has no friends. He isn't loyal to, he's not being truthful to his wife. There's a scene in the beginning where he's calling all these people that are rejecting him, and him and his fiance are planning on getting married. They're planning for their wedding day and everything, and he frantically is searching for a best man because he needs to pull this off, because he told his fiance that he has all these friends, he was so popular in high school, and he had a bunch of friends and everything, when really in reality he has no friends and she has all the friends. And that's why he told her this, because she had all the friends and he was jealous and he was afraid that she wouldn't like him, so he did that to impress her. And he eventually finds out about this guy named Jimmy Callahan. Now, he is a professional. He is a professional best man. Basically, he runs this company where if you need a best man or any sort of people to replace, any sort of wedding guests for your wedding, fake wedding guests, he can do that. So pretty much he goes into full gear, hides this lie from his wife about all of them, being his friends and everything. And basically the question is, can they pull it off? And that's basically the plot of The Wedding Ringer. And I think it's actually a very good plot. I didn't know that was the plot of the movie, and I went into this movie pretty much blind. I didn't see any trailers. I saw stuff on TV. It didn't look very good, but I didn't really know that was the plot of the movie. And I gotta say, that's actually a very interesting plot and kind of thought provoking. Honestly, I like that plot definitely. Now let's get to the acting in this movie. And that's what really impressed me about this movie was the acting. The acting in this movie is actually very good at points. Some of the actors gave very good performances. Let's first talk about Josh Gad. Josh Gad is our main character here. He was very good in the movie. I mean, you really do sympathize with the guy. You really sympathize with his character. I mean, the first scene in the movie, he's calling all these people. He's doing whatever he can to find a best man, and they're all rejecting him. One of them even thought he was dead, and you can definitely see that he was not popular in school. He was socially awkward. He's one of those kids where, I'm assuming at least, he's one of those kids where he wouldn't talk to anyone. He was completely silent. He didn't, really have any friends, and you really do feel bad for the guy, and you understand why he's doing what he's doing, but at the same time, you're like, dude, you gotta get out of this because you're living a lie. And I really like that about Josh Gad's character. He also had some very funny moments, but his character's more of an emotional character, and he has a lot of emotional moments in this movie, which I wasn't expecting. I didn't expect this movie to have as much emotion as it did, which I also really enjoyed about the movie. But let's talk about Kevin Hart in this movie, who easily steals the show, as usual. I love Kevin Hart. I think he's a fantastic comedian. Definitely one of the best comedians working today. I always find him very, very funny. I've always really loved his style of comedy. I think anything he says really is funny. Even Scary Movie 3 and Scary Movie 4, his character is the best thing about those movies, in my opinion. I don't like those movies, but he did great in those movies. And he did a great job in this, definitely. I really liked his character a lot. One of the things I love about his character is the different things that he has to do to pretend to be his friend is so funny. And the character that Doug makes him is Mitchgum, which of course Bic Mitchgum, which of course is Bic is a deodorant and Mitchgum is a basically, Mitchgum is basically like I think it's like cologne or something. And I thought that was so funny. His reaction to him having to do this, he really doesn't want to do this. And I like that he told him at first, look, we're not going to be friends. We're just going to be in this business together. And I really like that about his character. That his character was very funny with that. And I really liked, he had some very, very funny scenes, some great scenes that really pulled off. And just the things that he has to come up with in this movie were so good. And I'm going to be honest, I really feel like he improv'd a lot of the movie. I think Kevin Hart does that a lot. And I think with this movie, he did do that. I think he improv'd it. And if he did, that's really impressive because he did a very good job pulling it off. And I gotta say, the chemistry between Kevin Hart and Josh Gad was very, very good. I thought they worked very well together. I thought that they were actually very good, and I didn't think they would be. Unlike Kevin Hart, Josh Gad, I don't see them working together, but it worked really well, and I think it's because Josh Gad's worked with this kind of humor before. I think, when we think of Josh Gad, we think of Olaf, but we have to remember that Josh Gad was in the Book of Mormon, so he knows how to be raunchy and things like that. Kevin Hart mainly has most of the funny jokes, and Josh Gad's sort of like the straight one, sort of like the one that's very serious all the time. But I still thought they had some great jokes together, and I thought they both worked very, very well together, and it really was a lot of fun watching the two of them. Now, Kaylee Cuoco Sweeting, I thought she was very good in this movie. Now, my only thing with her character is that we really didn't see too much of her character, and I thought she did a good job overall. One thing I like about her character that you can see clearly that she really does not love Doug. She loves the man she thinks he is. And I like seeing that because it shows how he's living a lie and he doesn't really love her. He doesn't really love her. He loved her, and now you can see that it's not really going well between them. And what ends up happening to them in this movie is pretty predictable. You pretty much predict what's going to happen to them, but I thought she still did a very good job. Everyone else in the movie was okay, nothing much to say there. And let me say this about the acting. The acting's very good, but it's nothing amazing. And the directing in this movie is just okay. I thought the directing was pretty good. Jeremy Gerlich, he did a pretty good job directing this movie. But my thing with this movie is that it's nothing new. I mean, you think that this movie is going to bring something new to the whole wedding genre, and it really doesn't. It doesn't do anything different that you've seen before. It has the classic, dancing scenes. It has the classic pulling things off, It shows how stressful it is to put a wedding together, but I just thought some of his directing was kind of all over the place at points. There were some things that happened in the second half of the movie that honestly just seemed kind of stupid and didn't really make sense. There's just one scene with a football thing that I didn't really care about. There's this other thing I have to do with a priest that I thought was kind of dumb. There were a lot of things I didn't really like about that, and I thought his tone kind of was all over the place and kind of just brought the movie down a little bit for me. The screenplay in this movie was very, very good. The lines were very funny, and I was surprised by how much I was laughing in this movie. I didn't think I was really going to laugh at all, but I was surprised. I was really surprised by how much I was laughing. I was laughing a lot. I was enjoying it. I was into it, and I'm like, wow, I'm actually really into this. I'm enjoying this movie, and I think it's because of how good the screenplay was. The score of this movie is okay. Very good music, definitely. I thought the soundtrack was okay. The editing was perfect as well. This movie went by like that. I was pretty much into it the entire time. And now let's get to my problems with this movie. As I said, the problems are the directing. My other problem with the movie is that it's nothing new, and it's very predictable as well. Everything you think is going to happen in this movie, like for example, there's a scene with Kevin Hart where he says, "Oh, we're not going to be friends. We're just going to be a business thing." And I'm just like, they're going to become friends. They're going to become best friends by the end of this movie, and that's exactly what happens. You predict it. It's nothing spoilerish because it's predictable, and that's really my only thing with this movie is that's very predictable. You predict what's going to happen like that. There's nothing in this movie that shocks you, really. Everything you think is going to happen happens. And, basically that's what the movie is. It's really a movie where I think that, is a movie that if it was on TV, I would definitely I'd definitely watch it again. I mean, it's not a movie that I'm like, see it right now. It's not amazing or anything. But I really enjoyed it, and honestly, I probably would recommend it. I think it's a good movie. I think it's one of the better movies coming out in January. Definitely one of the better movies I've seen in January, because I've seen terrible stuff like Taken 3. Definitely better than that, than Taken 3. Still the worst movie of the year so far. But this was pretty surprising. I really enjoyed The Wedding Ringer overall. I thought it was a good movie. It had some issues here and there, but it wasn't a bad movie by any means. It wasn't bad. It was actually a pretty fun movie. I had a good time with it. And really, it's a movie where if you want to see a movie with a bunch of friends, get a bunch of friends together, maybe just take them to the movies and everything, maybe, just have a great time watching it, maybe watch it on Netflix when it comes out. It's totally that kind of movie, because I could definitely see people watching when it comes onto Netflix, because it's a very good movie because of that. And, I really just had a lot of fun with it. It's really that kind of movie. It's nothing, again, it's nothing amazing. It's nothing you're going to think about. I'll probably forget about it, but it's nothing that I wouldn't want to see again. I probably would want to see this again. Honestly, if I had a choice, if someone said you have to watch The Wedding Ringer again, I'd be fine with that because I don't think that it's a movie that I hated. I didn't think it was dumb. I thought it actually worked pretty well. It had some good emotional stuff to it. It had some good character development for Josh Gad. Overall, I really enjoyed that about the movie. But that's basically my review of The Wedding Ringer. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys thought of this movie. I was pretty surprised by how much I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good movie overall. It wasn't a bad movie. And I don't know, maybe January's not going to have as many bad movies so far. January hasn't had too many bad ones, really. I heard Black Cat was okay. I almost saw that in theaters, but I heard that was okay as well. So maybe January's not going to be that bad, honestly. I mean, Predestination was amazing, so who knows. But that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoy it. I'll see you guys in my next video, which will be my review for... I'm trying to decide if I'm going to watch The Flash or Pretty Little Liars live tonight. I'm trying to make a decision here. I'm sorry, it's hard to make a decision. I'm probably watching The Flash live tonight, so I think my next review will be for The Flash, and then, you know, basically, I think it'll be for The Flash because I'm watching The Flash over Pretty Little Liars because Pretty Little Liars is on at 10, and I can record it then. So, that's it for this video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Okay, bye.